Okay, so we all know the rules, right? Spend less, save more. Simple. So why is it so incredibly hard? Why do our best-laid financial plans just seem to fall apart? Well, today we're going to crack open your skull, metaphorically of course, to understand the science of why we make such bad money decisions. I mean, let's be real for a second. Have you ever gotten to the end of the month, looked at your bank statement, and just thought, where did it all go? It's like you had a plan, but your money had other ideas. You're definitely not alone in feeling that.
And what's our first instinct? We think, ugh, I just need a raise. I just need to earn more money. But here's the kicker. For most of us, what the research shows time and time again is that this isn't really an income problem.
It's a brain problem. See, our minds, as amazing as they are, come pre-installed with these little glitches, these mental tripwires that can absolutely wreak havoc on our finances. The best way to think about it is like this. Picture your entire financial life as a big bucket. You're working hard, pouring your income into the top. But here's the thing. Your brain has drilled these tiny, invisible leaks in the bottom, and your money is just draining away, often without you even realizing it. So how do we find these leaks? How do we even begin to patch them up? Well, we turn to this fascinating field of study that's basically a diagnostic tool for our own financial self-sabotage.
And that field is called behavioral economics. Now, old school economics kind of assumes we're all perfectly rational robots, always making the optimal choice. Behavioral economics says, no way. It accepts the reality that we're human, we're messy, we're driven by feelings and mental shortcuts that more often than not lead us to make some pretty irrational decisions with our money.
Okay, this right here is the main event. This is the battle that's happening inside your head every single day. On one side, you've got System 1. This is your fast, gut-feeling, emotional brain. It's the one that sees something shiny and screams, I want that now. And on the other side, you've got System 2. That's your slow, logical, analytical brain, the one that wants to make a spreadsheet before buying a coffee. Now, take a wild guess which one usually wins the daily battle for your wallet? Exactly. This constant tug-of-war is the source of almost every single one of those leaks in our bucket.
So let's diagnose our first major leak. This one is incredibly powerful, and it's all about our brain's obsession with this very moment.
The official term is hyperbolic discounting. It sounds super academic, I know, but the idea is dead simple. Our brain is wired to want a small treat right now way more than it wants a much bigger reward later. The simple promise of now just short-circuits all our best intentions. Let me ask you this. Would you take $990 cash in your hand this very second, or would you wait 6 months to get a full $1,000? Be honest. So many of us feel that intense pull toward the instant cash, even though we logically know it's a worse deal. That's your System 1 brain hijacking the decision.
And here is the mind-blowing reason why. Researchers have actually put people in fMRI machines and found that when we think about our future self, the one who's supposed to be retired and comfortable, our brain activity looks almost identical to when we think about a total stranger. So when you choose that new gadget today, instead of putting money into 401k, you're not just kicking the can down the road. You're literally taking money from someone your brain doesn't even recognize as you.
All right, on to the next big leak in the bucket. This is the one that chains us to our past mistakes, and in doing so, makes them even more expensive.
It's the sunk cost fallacy. You know this one. It's that stubborn refusal to quit. It's when we keep pouring our time, our effort, and especially our money into something that is clearly, obviously failing, all because we've already invested so much. We just can't stand the thought of admitting we made a mistake and wasted what we already put in.
This story from Richard Thaler, one of the godfathers of behavioral economics, just nails it. So he and his friend bought tickets to a basketball game. But on the night of the game, a massive snowstorm hits. He realized that if they had been given the tickets for free, they would have stayed home in a heartbeat. But because they had paid for them, they felt this crazy obligation to risk their lives driving through a blizzard. The money was already gone. It was a sunk cost. But that feeling of waste completely warped their judgment, even when faced with real danger.
Okay, so we've identified some pretty serious leaks. It sounds a little bleak, right? But here's the good news. We can absolutely plug them. And it's not about finding more willpower. It's about being smarter. It's about using a few clever brain hacks that work with our weird psychology, not against it. Let's start with one that's super simple but ridiculously effective, the 24-hour rule. The next time you feel that hot, impulsive System 1 urge to buy something you don't really need, let's say it's over $100, just stop. Don't say no, just say not yet. Force yourself to wait a full 24 hours.
That little bit of space is all it takes for the emotional fever to break and for your slow, logical System 2 brain to finally show up to the party. After a day has passed, you can look at it again and ask, do I still want this? Does it line up with my actual goals? You'll be amazed at how often the answer is a clear no. And you can take it even farther. You can actually start to rewire your brain's programming. Try what they call mental accounting. Don't just have one big, boring savings account. Break it up and give the accounts names with purpose, like European Vacation Fund or New Car Down Payment. It makes the goal feel real and emotional, which makes it way harder to raid for an impulse buy. And yeah, this one might sound a little cheesy, but try writing a letter to your 80-year-old self. Seriously, it's a powerful exercise that helps you build that connection to your future, making it so much easier to make good choices for them today.
So when you boil it all down, it really comes to a simple choice. And it's a choice you make every single day, with every dollar you spend. You're choosing a mindset, and with it, you're choosing your future.
And this lays it out perfectly. Over on the left, you've got the bias-driven mindset. It's all about reacting to the moment. It runs on impulse and justifies spending with, I work hard, I deserve it. This is the mindset that throws good money after bad because it hates to admit a mistake. But on the right, you have the wealth-building mindset. This one is proactive, it's intentional. It doesn't follow feelings, it follows a system. It makes a real connection with that future self and knows when it's time to cut your losses and move on. It's not about being a robot. It's about creating a life where the smart choice is the easy choice.
So the only question left is this one. Take an honest look at your last few money decisions, big or small. Which column do they fall into? Which mindset was behind the wheel? Because the answer to that question is building your future, whether you realize it or not, one choice at a time.